Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Udyog Shaastra, brought to you by SMEVenture. This is your host, Yasmin Khan. Today in this episode, we have our guest speaker with us, who is an experienced head with a demonstrated history of working in the information technology and services industry. He is the founder and director general at Confederation of Indian MSME in ESDM and IT, which is the voice of MSME in ESDM and IT. Mr. Jairaj Srinivas. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
Today in this episode, let's talk about MSME in ESDM and IT, and let's take the insights from Mr. Jairaj about this topic. So, sir, starting with a very basic question, we would really love to know your professional journey from the beginning.
Well, my professional journey started way back in 1983 from DRDO as a scientist, and grown from that level to the regional director for the MIT in Bangalore.
Okay.
I got retired in 2016 from this department, and where we basically, our responsibility was to form the policies, draft the policies, advocate the policy, also disseminate the policy announced by Government of India in invariable of any color of the government.
Okay.
That's how is the whole journey is around 35 years, and met various people. People started right from the scratch till people reached to the highest level of the industry. The companies like Videocon, Onida were also came on my journey part. And now during the period when I found that there are issues which relates to MSME sector in electronic, nobody is bothered. And we thought, okay, let us take this concept forward. I started this organization called CIMEI, the Confederation of Indian MSME in ESDM and IT. During the period which nobody would like to venture, it was started during the COVID period. And it was a quite challenging part for me. Till now, for past 2 years, I've been managing this show with the help of few of my great friend leaders, and all the people are from the industry. So I know that they have to give their time for the industry. So I'm handling the entire situation, taking up the grievances, solving their problems. In fact, just now when you saw that somebody called me, I said, call me after 45 minutes. So these are all the issues we have to follow with these things. And we have been doing a service to the industry. And what I found is that at this age when I started, I thought that I have to give back something to the society, which has given me so much, of knowledge. That's how the entire career journey is there.
Yeah, wonderful journey of 35 years, and we are really glad to have you on our show. And really, we will look forward for more, the knowledge which we can, just take from you. So, you have already spoken about this confederation which you have started. So, we would love to know more about it. Like, what are the overall activities? What are the future steps you are thinking for, MSMEs and ESDM and IT through this association, and what all are the factors people should know and people should get joined with you. So do share with us that.
Me about what we have to, what are our plan. Basically, the CIMEI strongly into these policy matters. Unlike any other trade association like FICCI, CII, SHM or NASCOM or any other, we are not into any event. We don't conduct any event. We don't want to conduct it because it's a huge logistics which I'm not in a position to handle. At the same time, the issues which relates the industry problems, nobody is looking towards that. So I have committed to look into the problem of the industry and resolve it. Instead of just showcasing, taking a picture with some politician or some minister or some celebrity, that is not the job of any trade association. It is not there in my constitution also. I have strongly told that no, we will not do any kind of event. We will only advocate the policy and we will only disseminate and if possible, will give some inputs to the government so that they draft a better policies all the time. So that is our whole mission, and I'm strongly working on that. I'm doing it also.
That's great, sir. I would like to, just say you are really bounded with your own philosophies, and that's a great thing which I can take from you.
Yeah.
So I would like to know, sir, why India needs to push boundaries in electronic manufacturing. What are your views? Why we should, push the boundaries for electronic manufacturing?
So during and post COVID situation,
Mm.
entire world
Mm.
is strongly against China.
Correct.
Strongly against China. And if you look at in our own country,
Mm.
we have been importing, even today also, the 96% of the electronic products are Chinese. Even today also,
Do that.
Government of India has said no, that we will not import anything from China, but via route it is coming. It is coming through Malaysia, it is coming through Middle East, and it is also coming to Taiwan. Whatever you getting from Taiwan is basically a Chinese product.
Mm.
So the sentiments of the industry, the global industry, particularly Australia, has been strongly recommending that Indian products. That is how it is, and Germany is also strongly recommending Indian products. Ireland and Finland also strongly recommending. So there are many countries in the world who are looking towards India as an alternative manufacturing hub in the world.
Mm.
And so in the case of electronics, India was at one time, India was very strong manufacturer of the components which being used in the electronics. Okay, the electronic industry has taken a different shape from football size ground of computer. Today it has come on the palm. So it has very good revolution, and the whole world has seen that one. But during the process, we have killed our own industry, the household industry in the electronics. There are two type of components which are used in any electronic product: active component and the passive component. And active components are, by default we have to import, because we don't have silicon in our country, we don't have semiconductors in our country, so we have to import the active components. Whereas the passive components, you live in Mumbai, so you know very well that where are the components available, where were the components available. That market has become go to the Crawford market or any market, those markets have converted into import houses. And they are importing the components from other countries. Whereas these components were being manufactured, it was a kind of household industry in Mumbai. Similarly, it was there in Delhi and Bangalore also. But strategically, various successive governments have killed the household industry and they started importing. So now the world is looking towards India that we should start reinvent ourselves in the electronic. The best example is the Maruti Udyog Limited. When it started in 1975, 76 onwards, all the Maruti product, all the Maruti cars were imported by Suzuki. Only the management of Maruti has taken a step and started giving away few components to the local manufacturers in the Delhi and nearby area. People started, doing R&D on that product, on that particular component. Today, 100% the Maruti 100% is an Indian product. One has to learn the lesson from Maruti that when automobile industry can do that, why not electronic industry? So we have to go that way and develop the electronic industry. There is not difficult. Okay, as far as a passive component, yes, 100% it is possible. As far as the active components are concerned, the government of India is very keen to do that. And okay, they have taken one step, but this step, third step. The first step is basically, growing a silicon in this country, converting that into the slices and making the wafers, polishing the wafers, and bringing that wafer to the next level of making the chips. Third level is basically what we call as a fab, basically which is a packaging. Today, what most of the government is talking, is whether it's Karnataka government or Telangana government or Tamil Nadu government, they are talking about a fab. Fab is a third level. It's you have to do the packaging.
Achha.
So the government of India vision is basically, if I am not wrong, the vision of Prime Minister is basically to go to the first level. That is the way we have to get. In fact, if I look back the history, former Prime Minister of India, Srimati Indira Gandhi, has created an organization called Semiconductor Complex Limited with this vision only. But once again, the successive governments post Indira Gandhi, they have killed that particular organization, and today it is just a lab. The Semiconductor Complex Limited is just a lab. We have to upgrade that lab and get into the foundry level, what we call as a level 1. Then we come to the level 2. For level 2, in India, the designing is happening in South India, in Bangalore. A lot of people are there who are into the designing. They will do that, and the investment will come forward. So this is how we have to push forward our electronic sector in a way, because the world is looking towards us, and the potential is very high. Only thing is, people have to understand what we are doing.
So just to add on this, I would like to know where we are then lacking for to start this manufacturing. Where we are lacking, you think that
we are lacking because it needs a huge funding. The funding, no foreign fund, no entrepreneur, whether it is even if you look at the local Indian agencies like Adani's and Ambani's, they will also not invest the kind of funding we require. About $22 billion are required. That $22 billion, one has to wait for at least 5 years. It's a gestation period. So why would a businessman will not invest and wait for 5 years without any kind of return?
Correct.
But the lacking government of India is also, can be convinced to extend the $22 billion to run the industry. But who is a taker? The question is, who is a taker? If it is a politician, will the current government, trust the politician? If it is a bureaucrat, once again, every day we are watching the news, what bureaucrats are doing. So now who is a taker? The question is, who is a taker? Who will honestly use this $22 billion for the beginning of that thing? And government of India can be convinced. It is not very difficult. It is we have come way forward from 2014 till now. The latest report says that we have close to $700 billion reserves in our country as a foreign exchange. And we have a huge amount of gold available in this country, which is a savings for the government of India. And this government also can be convinced to use those funds for the development of the industry. But the question lies that who is a taker? That's it.
Yeah. So I would really, firstly, I must agree that it's true. If we need to grow ourselves and compete with China, this is the thing we should start. And I really don't know who will be the taker, but from this interview, I hope we just throw this voice to the industry that someone has to take that step. So, what do you think about the best practices MSMEs can inculcate for their growth?
See, if the MSME has to grow, one is that they have to set their goals properly.
Okay.
The goals has to be, realistic, not over enthusiastic, but it should be whatever they can achieve, at least 25% more than what they can achieve. They have to set the target like that. And the MSME should be kept away from all the debts. That is because currently during the pandemic period, most of the MSME got into the debts. So that is the issue there. They will have to keep their books very clear, because that only add value to their organization. And the fourth one, what I feel is, they have to look for a new partners. The partnership have to be, they have to add on the new partners, or they have to, find out the partnership itself has to be changed. A lot of companies have been doing that thing. I think recently the Air India also has entered into that one. Okay, the Air India is not an MSME, but if you looking into the MSME, because the market dynamics has already changed, so you will easily find a partner. But for that, the book has to be ready, because the partners will look at what the book says. Now, another drawback currently which people are facing in the MSME sector, they work with a limited customer. Very limited customer, and that is very difficult. The reason being, I can give you one example of not from the electronic industry. It is a food processing industry. There used to be a company called MTR Foods Private Limited, and the MTR Foods Private Limited was working only with a few limited customers. They said, okay, whatever limited things are there, we'll work only on that. And it went to an extent that the MTR brand itself was sold for 300 crores Indian rupee, which would have fetched about 700 crores if they had more customers. The similar thing happened in the electronic industry also. It is not that we have to depend on only on the limited customer. We don't have to get satisfied. If you look at the IT sector, which also is a kind of part of electronic industry, see, there are so many apps which are being released at day-to-day basis.
Correct.
And so many apps are closed also. The reason is one is that, the number of customers what they have. Now, if you look at the payment gateway, what we have find, Google Pay is one, because Google Pay is using its data, whatever they data got, it is growing day-to-day basis. So Google Pay is safe, and they are every day, if 4 customers are going out of Google Pay, at least 10 customers will come back. If you look at other gateways, every last mile delivery company has started their own gateways. Amazon has got gateways, Big Basket has got gateways. It's a payment gateways. Similarly, some other thing. These startup companies, they come out with an idea. Idea is good, but they said, okay, we'll work only without say 2,000 customers. What if out of the 2,000 customer, 10% have changed to the another app? So they have reduced 10%. So they left 9%. So they are not working to get back that new 10%. They say, okay, anywhere it is there, no, we'll manage with that only. So the one is, managing the things and compromising with the customer. Customer will not be happy. The customer will move out of your network, and it will look for another, because the whole world is full of alternative. So in the MSME sector also, the number of customers have to be regularly increased. That's how it is.
Okay. So these are the perfect. I think so. The key points which you have highlighted. So I would like to now know what are the schemes which are available for specifically MSMEs into ESDM and IT. You are so much associated with the government and all. So many people are not aware of this schemes, and schemes are not even reached to the people because of this. Because of this awareness which is not there. So what are the major schemes which are available currently in 2022 where people can just approach it and get the benefits?
Well, the basic responsibility of any trade association is to disseminate the information which is being received. The moment I also like a registered organization, the moment Government of India issues any kind of gazette, come out with any kind of gazette, the copy of a gazette is there on my mailbox, so that I read the entire gazette. It is possible. If I give you one gazette copy, which is around 32 pages, you will not be able to read that.
True that.
I, as an organization, I have to read the entire document. and summarize that for the benefit of the members. But most of the time it is not happening. Now, coming back to your question, there is one scheme called Electronic Manufacturing Cluster Scheme. Okay. This EMC, what we call as EMC. Earlier also there was an EMC, that Electronic Manufacturing Cluster 1.0, and this is a 2.0. Now, there the 1.0 was basically focusing only on the large companies who can set up their manufacturing shops in the country. Now, the 2.0 is basically clubbed with another policy of industry department called it Industry 4.0. Now, the globe is running with the Industry 4.0 now, because if you look back the Industrial Revolution in France, that was Industry 1.0. So from 1.0, the world has come to 4.0. Now the 4.0 and EMC 2.0 clubbed together, and they are providing a lot of benefits for the industry. Now, in this particular thing, there are schemes available. The EMC cluster, the government has to create a cluster area for about 200 acre of land. And in that 200 acre of land, they have to identify a couple of anchor companies. The best example I can give you is a Tata Nano factory in Gujarat, where when Ratan Tata was thrown out of Nandigram for getting into the car, so Gujarat government has offered a land. It was whatever commercial deal was there, but what he did is he has set up a plant, and around the plant he has set up the small accessory unit, allowed people to, they don't belong to Tata, they are an independent entrepreneurs. They have set up their manufacturing setup outside the boundary of Tata Nano, and they started manufacturing the components, and they started giving it to the Tata company. So that's how it becomes called a cluster. That is a cluster. The EMC cluster is also the same way. We have to identify one anchor company, one big company who can manufacture, who wants to manufacture a product. For manufacturing the product, you need an accessories also. Now, the moment you open your mobile phone, so mobile phone is just a unit, but inside the mobile phone, there are a lot of things. Outside the mobile phone also, you need a charger. You need USB port for inserting the charger.
Yeah.
You need
earpods,
earphones, and so many things you require.
Yeah.
Manufactured. These are all being manufactured by the small companies. Now, currently, in the current situation, these small companies are in and around Noida, Ghaziabad, Saibabad, and there are few in Tamil Nadu and all. Now, people manufacture and give it to the large company. They do the branding and they sell on their own branding. That's how it is happening. You will be surprised to know that I know an organization in Ghaziabad who's manufacturing the mobile chargers.
Okay.
Some MNC company, they are procuring his mobile chargers at the cost of 317 rupees.
Okay.
And the same company launching the same product on their name and selling it for 1,350 rupees. So imagine that what is happening over there in the entire country. So the EMC cluster is one where the large company is there, and around that there are small companies who will manufacture these kind of accessories and give it to those people. So it will reduce the marketing cost of the MSME set up this thing. So, and this is for the industry what they have to do. Now what government has to do is identify a minimum 200 acre of land and get it notified as an EMC cluster by Government of India, Ministry of IT and Electronics. Government of India will have certain norms. So after that, once they are recognized as an EMC cluster, the state government has to develop that particular 200 acre of land with the basic amenities like electricity, water, roads, drainage system, and all those things. And along with that, there are things, common facility center has to be done. Like when I enter your office, you have a reception. That is a common facility center.
Yeah.
Similarly, the common facility center has to be provided, and wherein all the departmental officers have their offices, electricity department, corporation department, whatever the telephone department, all those people will have their counters, so that the people who are there in the cluster, they don't have to run out of the area. They can do everything over there. They're including post office, courier service, banks, ATMs, all those things. It should be there in the common facility center. For providing all these basic amenities to the people who are supposed to come into the cluster area, the government of India gives a grant of 70 crore rupees per 100 acre of land for developing this thing. This is a policy which is available in public, so there is nothing that anybody can hide. That government of India also expect that state government should spend some money from its pocket to the tune of about 30 crores rupees on per 100 acre.
Okay.
This is the EMC cluster area, and where people can take the benefit, and a lot of benefits. Every state has got their own policy to promote the electronic sector manufacturing. So in which they give certain grant, like 25% on the procurement of the machineries. Sometimes they say, okay, we'll not charge you the stamp duty. They will say, okay, we'll reimburse. Somebody say that I will reimburse 1 rupee of your power unit per unit in the power. Or somebody says, okay, I'll reduce the power rate itself. So all those things are there. The policies, standard policies are available. So one can take benefit in that one. So it is for the new units which are coming for the MSME sector. Or the existing MSME sector can move into the cluster and take all these benefits from the government, which government will extend.
Okay.
That is one of the important policies there.
Great.
Then another thing is what is that the government of India has announced the PLI schemes on drone and telecom. Now telecom is a growing sector.
Correct.
People have to, people can grow in that sector. So the PLI scheme is basically somebody who already has a manufacturing unit in telecom and drone area. The government will give certain grants. I'll differentiate. The grant is basically the government will not ask you to repay that money. So grant is a grant. Subsidies, the thing is that they will give you money, which the money you will have to pay after. Adding some interest to that one.
Yes.
Subsidies. Or they will say, okay, this is the cost, we will reduce this much, this is your subsidy, so don't give me money. I'm not taking money, so I have reduced it. Two ways are there. So grants are available. In the PLI scheme, it is not a grant. Year and a year after, you have to grow and you have to show to the government that you have that always to the government that you have grown to this level. If somebody is growing about 15% per annum, so government will say, okay, we will give you so much of grant. Here it is a grant. Okay. For example, the government of India has announced the PLI scheme on the fab and semiconductor, where 76,400 crores rupees was announced by Nirmala Sitharaman, the Honorable Finance Minister, before the budget. Now, people could not understand what exactly 76,000 crore rupees. One chief minister who came to visit Bangalore, he was there with me. I said, why don't you get into this particular business? Why don't your state government get into this? You have a good resources available. So he said, no problem. Government of India will give us money. I said, why should the government of India will give you the money? No, PLI scheme. I said, sir, PLI scheme is not for that. You have to set up a unit, then only you will get 76,000. So these are all, even the government policy maker, they do not know what exactly is the policy. The policy is you have to set up the unit. Today, people are struggling that, to set up the unit and take the grant of this after, 3-year regular growth. So that is what there. Now, one more scheme, which is the government of India has recently announced about 100 crores rupees grant for the drone technologies. So this is a one scheme which MSME and startup can take advantage. Just 4 days ago, the government of India has given the list of people who are eligible for this thing.
Okay.
Now the MSME, no, whether MSME or the startup has to register themselves in ROC, and then only they will become an MSME. Okay, so that is how it is. Now in the drone technology, Government of India has announced. Telecom sector, Government of India has announced. And now one more facility which Government of India has recently, just 2 days ago, the Government of India came out with a circular that if a small companies, MSME companies or any other company in India, they want to do some business abroad. Earlier, they used to pay in dollars. Now the Government of India has made it clear that they can transact in Indian rupee also.
Okay.
Additional Government of Reserve Bank has recently came circular, and in fact I made this public also. The people should know what exactly. This is how MSME is doing in this country.
Firstly, I would like to thank for such a valuable information. There are so many things which government are taking steps, but due to the less awareness, people don't take that benefits and all. So this is the wonderful firstly the step which you have taken, sir. I would like to appreciate for that, and I hope all this benefits reaches to the people in the real scenario.
Yes.
So with this, I would like to lastly ask you the final, what are your thoughts, your message for MSMEs in ESDM and IT as a founder of the Federation. So what are your messages, sir?
So my message to MSME industry is that whenever you are making a budget of your company, keep the money for marketing and R&D. Because whenever there is an emergency, the first thing what people do is cut their R&D budget and cut the marketing budget. Unless you spend money on the marketing, it is not possible. Yesterday only a guy who was working with Tesla, he just left Elon Musk, and he started a company for electronic vehicle. So he contacted me. He said, I want to promote my idea of renewing the existing vehicle into the EV. Because the government policy is there, See, this Tesla guy has left the company and he started an organization on his own to renew the existing petrol diesel vehicle into the EV. Okay, now the thing is that I asked him that, do you have a marketing budget to promote this idea? His product is registered. His product is recognized by a certain government agency. So I said, you want to promote your product through my channel? Yes. Do you have the marketing budget? If you have a marketing budget, then only you can grow. Second is at R&D. R&D is one area where the people cut their budget. Continuous R&D. Why China is successful? Because they have a continuous R&D for everything. So I can say that MSME, if India want to grow, India should have the Chinese way of development.
Okay.
Okay, that's how it is.
Yeah. So with this, firstly, I would like to thank Mr. Jairaj for your precious time and such a wonderful, session. It was great having you here. We have really had a very, worth it chat. And I am sure people out there have got many things from you. So firstly, thanking you. I hope you like the conversation, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shastra.
Yeah. So guys, you can check out all this interview on our YouTube channel, that is SMEVenture. You can connect Mr. Jairaj on LinkedIn. He's available on the LinkedIn for this, any kind of updates you need for your business. So you just please do like, share, subscribe SMEVenture for more such video. So with this is your host Yasmin Khan signing out for the day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.